Hello again for a fragrance review. Or several fragrance reviews, I should say. So this is a range. It actually come in a box. Don't have the box anymore. These are from Marks and Spencers. These were bought as a Christmas gift. There's another one as well from when I was working last year. Apologise for the coughing. I'm still getting over a chest infection. Weeks on, but it's still there, which is annoying. But this was a Christmas present from a friend. Again, she would come into my workplace like when I'm bored, just to keep me company and chat with me and so on during my spare time. This is how do I describe this? One good thing about it, it has the notes on the bottle, which is appreciated. They're just kind of like fairly weak, inoffensive EDTs that you can wear. I'll jump the gun and say the performance isn't great. Within 2 to 3 hours, they're pretty much faded to a very flat skin scent. However, like with EDTs, the radiance and projection is excellent for the first hour. So they're not something expensive. I looked into, because again, for this review, they were like £5 to £10 for the box set of 3. And the other one I just thought I'd bring over, I kept the box for it, which I'll go into after about the box and so on, because it is there's notes on that box that I thought I'd bring up afterwards. So what we'll do, I've not taken notes, but obviously in terms of reviewing them, I've got a little space ready for them. So I've got the tester strips here. I could put them onto the skin, but they're all very, as I said, very radiant to begin with. So I'll do it this way so they don't interfere with each other. So even though I've had these over a year, or year and a half actually, I've not used much of them. I do remember them being very nice though. So again, bought as a present, Marks and Spencers. Apparently this is the Apothecary range, and this one's called Breathe. So the notes are eucalyptus, bergamot, thyme and vetiver. So they're quite nice. I appreciate excuse me, I appreciate anything bought for me as a gift. This was very pleasant. Again, you can imagine my reaction just close to Christmas time, receiving this in a little bag. It was very nice. So naturally straight away I'm busting them out the box and wanting to try them, because I like fragrances. So I've just noticed this as well. I'm looking on the bottom, a scent to uplift. I wonder if they say different things. A scent to soothe for the relax, and a scent to comfort. That's quite nice. So again, I'm not saying that fragrances need this, but again, when I get on to the fourth and final one in the box, it's kind of, I appreciate the fact that it breaks down the notes. It tells you kind of when you could wear it and what it does. It's just like little, I don't want to say hints and tips, but you know, I just think it's a nice touch because I'm not used to that. You get the fragrance in a box, the chemical breakdown at the back, the name and the title, the brand, and if it's an EDT or EDP. I'm not saying it needs to be full of writing, but in this instance it's appreciated. So again, Breathe onto the cart or the tester strip. That's settled. So again, as I say, they're very radiant. I'm already getting that blast. So to recap the notes, eucalyptus, bergamot, thyme and vetiver. I can say this is very prominent. I'm already detecting like it's quite a way away. So the radiance is excellent. Again, for most EDTs, they will be like that. And citrus heavy, certain notes, obviously for 30 minutes they're very potent. So yeah, very nice. I think this was one of my favourite ones from when I remember smelling them. A scent to uplift, and it does do that. It's very pleasant. and again, without like, you know, jumping the gun, I'd like give, and again, the performance, I did mention this, the performance and the radiance isn't that great after 2 to 3 hours. That's pretty much when it goes down to the skin scent. But in terms of the notes and how it smells now, it's very pleasant, it's wearable. I'm not going to go break it down into time and place. I just think these are things that you would just enjoy to wear, and maybe around the house or whatever, because again, due to the performance, you'd have to reapply these every 2 to 3 hours. But on a budget, considering the price of say £5 to £10 for this box set, so again, I don't know the individual price of buying these, if at all. They probably come in bigger bottles, but this is very nice, basic, but I can't really fault it. So it unironically, how it says breathe, it does the eucalyptus, the bergamot, the thyme and the vetiver in this. It's just really pleasant. Again, how it describes the name, it's helping me breathe, considering I've had a chest infection. So let's go to the book. I'd actually give that an 8 out of 10. I think that was one of my favourites. Again, I'm judging it on the smell profile, not so much the performance, because they are quite cheap. They're not nasty though. There's cheaper or slightly more expensive ones that I've done more recently in the past that are awful, and I'm basing it more on the actual smell profile, because again, once I review these, I could give an overall for buying them, albeit these come as a free, the other ones on it's sold on its own. But they are part of a range from Marks and Spencer's. So 8 out of 10. Let's just do the smell profile. Again, the dry down doesn't really change it. It's an EDT. It's quite basic. So next one's Warmth. I think I like this as well. I think I liked them all, but there were two that I really like. Again, I've not worn these for a long time, so I'm just trying to remember. But I do recall when I made notes, the performance is what lets them down. After 2 to 3 hours, they're basically gone. But for the first hour especially, they're really nice. They're projecting. You know, I can still smell that now, like that one I've just sprayed. I know it's an EDT, that's how it affects, but I'm just saying that they have positives. So, Warmth, with notes of cardamom, cinnamon leaf, cedarwood and sandalwood. So a bit woody, and again, it well worded. Warmth, unlike, again, as I mentioned, in a hair product, it's nice that when something advertises itself for what it actually is, rather than lies or misleads the person who's going to purchase it. So if I could pick up this tester strip off the desk, there we go, that'll be a start. Right, so onto the card, tester strip. Yep, I'm almost dropping the cap. The radiance, really radiant. And again, how it describes itself, very warm, or not very warm, you know, but like a warmth, enticing fragrance, woody, but pleasant, not too, all of these fragrances hit or fit the brief of the name description really well, and as you read the notes, because they're very basic, and they're all blended really well, so they give this kind of, each of them almost designed to give a certain vibe, which I think is excellent, because they do that. So yeah, cardamom, cinnamon leaf, cedarwood, sandalwood, very nice, inoffensive, easily worn. I think most, and again, these are for men, they're not, I wouldn't say unisex at all, but they're very nice. They're all very different. I kind of, despite being basic, I really like these. They're very nice. So again, I'd give that an 8 out of 10 as well. Again, I'm reviewing this, unlike usually where it's performance and price and all of that. These are cheap, and for the first 2 hours they're excellent. So that's what I'm basing them on. So I'll give that an 8 out of 10 as well. What one was that? Warmth. So 2 down, 2 more to go. And then I'll give an overall, I'll just say, or interject at this point, halfway mark, if these had more performance, and or you could find an EDP version of this, I would buy these outright. Them two, even if they're a bit more money, really affordable, excellent smell profile despite being basic. Really surprising when I found out, because when I looked at them, obviously they come in a box. I thought Marks and Spencer's, I know like Zara have considered, like, you know, not a fragrance house or a company. They have some very good products themselves, so I'm not surprised with this Marks and Spencer. So anyway, on to the final one of the Apothecary box. This is called Relax, and it's with notes of lavender, clary sage. Isn't that in another one? Might be the fourth, actually. I'm getting confused. I thought I picked up the wrong one. So this is lavender, clary sage, white cedar and amber. It's because the last one's got amber spice and amber, spiced amber even. I was getting confused. So yeah, what am I doing? I'm already jumping the gun with a review. I've not even smelt it. I have smelt these, but not recently. But they're very pleasant, very strong. Opening up my airways, considering I've had a chest infection. It's kind of helping. It's making me cough more. Hopefully that's a good thing. So, into the card. I think this was my favourite already. Again, not jumping the gun. These are very linear. How they smell now is how they smell in 2 hours. They're EDTs. Very nice. How I would describe this again, it fits the brief of relax. Just very pleasant. But again, really well blended. They're all very different. I will say again, and they should be, they're all 4 different ingredients, but easily wearable. I think this one's my favourite, even though the other 2 8 out of 10. I'd say this is like an 8.59. So this is a relax one. Again, they come as a box, but I believe that you can buy them individually. I've not looked into this because this was a gift set gifted to me last Christmas, or sorry, the Christmas before. So they're even older than that. I said 1.5 years. It's when you get older, you lose track of time. But yeah, so lavender, clary sage, white cedar and amber. Again, I like fragrances with amber and woods. But yeah, just very nice. So 8.59. I'll put a 9 actually. Really like them. So on to the final one. I'll put this on the skin because this was my favourite. Remember this one. And they're very good as well, you know. So this one I kept in the box, only very little bottle. Spiced amber in a 30ml. So this is just amber, geranium and cedar. And on the side it actually has the note breakdown of marine, woody, amber, fougere, citrus. That's kind of nice. It breaks it down. Oh, right, even more on the back. From sweet fruity notes to spicy ambers, experimentation is a key part of finding a fragrance that suits you. Discover offers you a variety of scents. So this is another range different to the other one called Discover. These are Apothecary. Opening with fresh notes of grapefruit and zesty orange, moving into a warm heart of cinnamon. This fruity and spicy fragrance is layered with woody amber and cedar base notes. So it's nice. I've got the little write-up on it, hence why I kept the box. You know, it has the chemical breakdown, it has all the legal stuff on there, best before date and all of that spiel. But also, you know, as I said, as I just described, it has extra notes on there, which is appreciated. So this one, I will say, lasts maybe an extra hour over the others. Hence why it's my favourite, because again, they're all very pleasant. They all smell a bit different. But this is, again, this is an EDT, spiced amber. Just do the 3 sprays. Yeah, the radiance. Again, it's not like I'm going to say I'm going to mark these bad, because I think for the smell profile, the performance as an EDT, of 2 to 3 hours before becoming a skin scent, or very flat to the skin. They're excellent. They're all very different. Yeah, very nice. Again, spice and amber. It reminds me straight away of Victor & Rolf Spice Bomb, which I've got a review of already. Again, not completely the same, because again, the actual notes are very basic, and this is just amber, geranium, cedar. But as I explained on the back, there's a little bit of a write-up as well. You do get fruity notes from it. Very pleasant. Again, the common running theme with these, easily worn. Again, this, unlike the others where it says a kind of a description, with this one it's a bit more, I'd say slightly better quality. Again, I'm not going to say these are bad, far from it, hence why I gave them 8s and 9s. Give this a 9 out of 10, because again, we're just talking about the price and the quality and the smell profile, rather than the performance and the radiance that we normally would, albeit the radiance is decent. But again, as I say, and I go back to after 2 to 3 hours, maybe 3 hour mark with this one, these are all like 2-ish. It fades to a skin scent, but in that time, and again, you could reapply it. They're very small, so you could take them with you, or get the vaporizers, or however you say it, you know, and reapply. Would possibly look into buying these if they come in bigger bottles, especially if they come as EDPs, because they'd last a bit longer. In that case, highly recommended, and I just can't fault them. So again, 9 out of 10 for this one. Overall, that works out, so I've got 2 9s and 2 8s, so let's say overall it's like an 8.5 for this range. I'm just doing quick maths here. And again, I'd highly recommend it. These 4 bottles from Marks and Spencer's, just to go over and finalise this. So you've got these 3 that come as a box set. So you've got Relax, a sense of soothe, Warmth, a sense of comfort, and then finally Breathe, a sense of uplift. And then separately, or as a separate range, you have the Spiced Amber, which is part of the Discovery range from Marks and Spencer. So all EDTs fail or fade after 3 hours, but for them 2 hours especially, the radiance is very good, the projection's very good. I really can't fault them. So again, going back to 8.5 out of 10. Price range is £5 to £10 in terms of this box set. I'm not quite sure with this, but it shouldn't be much more, I think, because it's a standalone. It might be a bit more, like £5 £7, something like that, but they're cheap, they're affordable. So yeah, I'm going to end it there. Nothing more I can say. Nice bringing these back out of the collection that I have behind me. Not smelt them for a long time, but they're all very good. And I can't fault them. So again, if you can find these online or in your local Marks and Spencer's, try them, or for the price. If you can't try them, they're only a few quid, just buy them. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So yeah, end it there. Highly recommended. And it's nice that you can find cheap fragrances that are of good quality, which these are. Most of the time there is a review for a Ted Baker I put up, or I'm going to put up, where it's awful, just a waste of money, where these are high quality. I will say that. They smell more expensive than they are as well. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10 for the Marks and Spencer range of EDTs.